It's mad. Bad news. Anthony Joshua, former heavyweight champion, could retire if he loses to Alexander Usyk. Well, that's what a lot of people are saying and believing ahead of this fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. Anthony Joshua, quote, could be retired by Alexander Usyk to end a disappointing career. Legendary British fighter Kell Brook is unsure whether or not Joshua can get past Usyk on Saturday night, and he believes that if he loses, he will retire after a, quote, disappointing career. Says Anthony Joshua could retire with a disappointing career if he loses to Alexander Usyk again on Saturday night, according to Kell Brook. The former welterweight world champion, who announced his own retirement earlier this year after beating Amir Khan, believes Joshua losing a second consecutive fight would be a disaster for the Brit, and he feels that if the bout doesn't go his way, he could hang up the gloves with a record that many feel is lackluster. Joshua is beating a number of major names, Vladimir Klitschko, Andy Ruiz Jr., Joseph Parker, but he has lost on the big stage as well. First to Ruiz, summer of 2019, then last September to obviously the Ukrainian Usyk in a disappointing showing at Tottenham Hotspur, blah, 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 in London. Quote, to be honest with you, I see Usyk beating him again. So realistically, that's what Kell Brook is saying. Quote, unless Anthony Joshua comes out and he puts it on him from round one and uses his size and strength, the only way, in my opinion, that Anthony Joshua can win is to use his size, strength, and power and put it on him in that way. In a boxing match, it's Usyk all day, every day. He could retire if he did get beat because he wouldn't have the X factor anymore, basic. So he even said basically. He said basically he wouldn't have that X factor. Wow. Kell Brook says that feeling of this big Anthony Joshua before he got beat with the people behind him losing again, it is going to just dishearten all the fans and they just move on to the next fighter, don't they? That's what happens, human nature. Wow. Brook is unsure if after two losses on the bounce to Usyk, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion, pound for pound great, that fans will still want to see Joshua compete again. He has signed a lucrative multi-fight deal with streaming platform DAZN. It says he'd have been beaten twice by Usyk. Will people want to see him again? I don't know. He could retire. I believe he would be disappointed with his career. He's beat some good fighters, but he's not beat any great fighters. The Ruiz loss and the Usyk defeats, I don't think he'd go down as anything great, would he? He's not done anything that would put him on that pedestal. I think he'd realize that himself as well. Wow. So this is obviously a fellow countryman and fellow Brit in Kell Brook, who he's fought the best. So you can't take that. He fought Gennady Golovkin. Hell no, guys, hey, Max is Mexican style. You know, when Gennady Golovkin was 21-0, or his record was better, but he had like 21 knockouts in a row. And that's when Kell Brook decided to fight him. So you can't say that Kell Brook has shied away from upper echelon competition. You know, as we've seen his whole career, he did get the Amir Khan fight eventually. And then he fought, of course, the great Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford, and Errol Spence Jr. So he fought everybody, you know, at least the contemporaries that he needed to, or enough of them, right? He challenged himself. So for him to say this, of course, this is his own opinion, but I think this is putting more pressure on Joshua. Pressure. So I think all the pressure is on Anthony Joshua for real. And I know some people are saying, hey, but Ego, it's only just Kell Brook saying this. Try again. So former fighter and broadcaster Johnny Nelson did an interview and he says the same thing. So you guys see it. It says Anthony Joshua to retire if he loses to Usyk. So you guys could find the content on YouTube. And former fighter, now commentator, Johnny Nelson, he's saying the same thing. He's saying if Joshua loses, you know, what does he have left? And Joshua used to be on Sky Some people are gonna say, you know, he's just hating because he was Sky and Joshua has this exclusive deal with DAZN. But that wouldn't really even make sense because Sky had Joshua's career longer than DAZN had Joshua's career. Beyond that, Sky Sports has the box office pay-per-view over there in the UK, so they're the ones airing the fight. So I do think Johnny Nelson is just giving his honest opinion. Like, bro, if you lose, then what are you gonna do? Now, Joshua did do a reaction to Johnny Nelson saying that. I guess they mentioned the Johnny Nelson interview, but they didn't do what Kell Brook said it. But so you got two British fighters, former fighters, Kell Brook and Johnny Nelson, and they're both reacting in the same exact way. And he's a fellow compatriot and a fellow Brit in Anthony Joshua, and they're all saying they think that he'll retire if he loses to Usyk. And Joshua, he says, if the fans want to see me and if I'm still entertaining, but I agree with Kell Brook and Johnny Nelson that Joshua will be very disheartened if he loses again to Usyk, because Joshua, you know, he lost to Ruiz and then he came back and bounced back in the Ruiz rematch. But something that a lot of people outside of my channel aren't going to tell you is that Ruiz, I'm not going to say the only reason he lost the fight is himself, but I definitely blame Ruiz for, he was negligent. He said, he told you and he showed you. He wasn't in shape. He didn't take training camp serious. He was living the high life. You know, he was like, oh, okay, I'm first ever Mexican heavyweight. Let's get it. You know, came in some more money, more notoriety, and he let it go to his head. Then he got rid of his trainer, went to Eddie Reynoso. Now he got rid of Eddie Reynoso, you know, just like he did Manny Robles, and he's about to fight Luis Ortiz. But the bottom line is Joshua, I don't think Joshua looked great in that particular fight. I really don't. He did enough to win, and he just looked very timid. He looked very scared and very timid. Now, the difference is Ruiz, in my honest opinion, played a major part in the fight looking like that because he didn't even turn up in shape and he wasn't even letting his hands go. He just didn't look like he was ready for competition. And that's not me making excuses. That's what I seen. The difference being is Alexander Usyk is an Olympic gold medalist. He looks like he's packed on the muscle and size and he's bulked up, and he's a southpaw, which is a different variable. Joshua did an interview and he said, these southpaws are nightmares for me. You know, basically, I don't like fighting southpaws. So I don't look for Usyk. He's a clever guy, you know, and he's a talented person, former undisputed at cruiserweight. He has the unified belts. The implications for him are pretty great because Wilder announced his comeback. So maybe that's an option. Of course, they've talked about Usyk fighting Tyson Fury. So if Usyk gets past this Joshua fight again, like he already did, and he should have the psychological edge, then he has big paydays still in the future, and he won't have any rematch clauses that force him to fight Joshua or whatever. He can move on with his career. So once again, Joshua, he's saying he's loco, as you guys see right here. And we better hope he's loco because the pressure is definitely on him. Like I see like almost all the pressure on Joshua, not Usyk, because Usyk, he's the smaller person. He already beat you, has a psychological edge. Worst case scenario, Joshua looks massive next to Usyk. So he's 6'6" and, you know, 250, 260 or whatever. So even if Joshua did knock out Usyk, people would just say, oh, Usyk, dust yourself off. You fought a bigger guy. He came correct. He got you with a shot you didn't see. But for Joshua, everything's riding on this. He already has lost. Usyk hasn't lost before, right? Joshua has lost before. And his own countrymen are saying, hey, you should retire if you lose this again, and it'll be a lackluster career. And, you know, all in all, Joshua was the one that switched trainers. Like he switched trainers with Robert Garcia, and he says he knows what to do now and things like that. So if it doesn't play out and pan out for him, then there's nothing he can say but Usyk is just better than me. And, you know, that's going to hurt his stock. It's my honest opinion. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe, SLC, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.